Let's start in the NFL. Cam Newton making the rounds, doing some media, not playing football these days. He was on the Late Late Show with James Corden this week.
Never seen an episode.
Was that necessary? I mean, you're not a fan, or
I'm not a fan. I mean, listen, carpool karaoke's not going to pull me in. And is the accent funny? I don't think so. Clearly faking it. I don't know much about him, to be honest. I don't watch it. I don't follow it. I wouldn't say I'm against him, but would I ever go on that show? Wouldn't waste my time.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, Cam Newton disagrees, and he surprised the audience by telling them that he's given up sex for March.
Not just sex.
Not just sex, and this is the way he said it, too, which was very strange. He said, I hope this is an adult crowd. Looks like it is. No climax. So there's no climax. That's the thing. That was the way he said it. So then I interpreted that. It's not just sex, but, no gratifying yourself.
Listen, I don't often talk about my religious beliefs on the air, but sex makes you weak. All right? If you touch yourself below the waist, weakness. Okay? I don't have a name for my religion, but I know that if I go a week or two, I can lift up a car. I don't often do it. You know what I mean? I don't feel the need. But I think not having sex or not releasing your demons, as my mom would call them. If you don't release your demons, then it makes you, like, you get more focused. You know what I mean? You got more energy. You can do more. In prison, the guys who get like super jacked and are all about weights, they don't touch themselves because they are they want to lift more weight.
I'm suddenly having like an image of her yelling up like, Anthony, you're not releasing your demons up there, are you?
Is that an impression of my mother? Because, I mean, I don't know what voice you think that is, but it's not a woman's voice. It's certainly not my mom's, and you've met her, and you know she listens. But yeah, she would yell that all the time. I couldn't take a shower without her just banging on the door like there was a fire. And I knew that something was up. I knew that my body was not my body, that it belongs to God, and I shall not desecrate. I shall not desecrate him by letting my hands wander.
You Catholics are weird.
No. This has nothing to do with Catholicism. This is more like a government thing.
Here's the
I
thing.
want to be like Mike Pence.
Like, Cam Newton like believes in this stuff though. There's a lot of athletes. You were saying that in prison that they believe that this is all weird, sort of not backed by science, conspiracy nonsense.
It is backed by science. I'll tell you this. I once read an article in a magazine about how doctors in the ER who have to do like 24-hour shifts, how they stay awake. They'd have different like little tips. One of them was like you pound a cup of coffee and then take a nap for like 5 minutes, and when you wake up, the caffeine's kicked in and you're like ready to go. The last guy was like, I don't know if this works for women, but it works for men. He goes, you touch yourself until you are just about the climax, and then you stop, and that keeps you awake. That like gives you like a burst of energy, and you can go about your day. He goes, but if you go too far, if you don't have the expert touch that I have, and you go too far, then he's like, you're done. He's like, go home, because you are not going to save any lives that day. So I give it up to Cam Newton. I would say this makes the Panthers the favorites to win it all this year. 30 days without. I know for Gregg that's pretty normal. And I know for a fact your wife has never once climaxed. She is the strongest person, and she's like an ant. She can lift 100 times her own weight. And we have Gregg to thank for that.
I found it very interesting that it was like a off-season challenge that he made for himself, that each month Cam Newton was going to give up different things. So January, it was gambling, which is interesting as an NFL player. February was meat. And then March was not only sex, but Wi-Fi. I mean, I feel like giving up Wi-Fi for a month is a lot tougher than...
If you're not going to masturbate, what do you need Wi-Fi for? You know what I mean? What, are you going to check your email? No. Who cares? See, this is why I think that the NFL is unfair, and that it really is a players' league. You know, people show up to watch the players, but let's see Robert Kraft do this. Let's see Robert Kraft go 30 days. This guy can't even get to the airport without pulling over and climaxing. Demons everywhere with Robert Kraft. That was a good one. That was more fun than I thought we'd have on that.
Papa John's is hoping that Shaquille O'Neal can help fix the PR backlash that they've had ever since the actual Papa John had to leave the company because he said the N-word. Shaq, among his many endorsements, has now decided to join Papa John board of directors, and he's going to own 9 Papa Johns in Atlanta.
It's the funniest thing to me that they would be like, okay, we got this scandal where our owner used the N-word on a conference call. We had to let him go. How can we ensure this never happens again? Who's the biggest black guy we know? Let's get him in here and ensure that everything is tip-top from here on out. I don't know how bad Papa John's business suffered when Papa dropped an N-bomb on a conference call, but I got to think there's some people who like switched over. I got to think there's some people in this country who've never eaten pizza in their lives who are like, we got to support this guy. And you know what? I hope they're not listening because I hate you. But I do like Shaq. Shaq is obviously, he endorses a lot of things, but he's very particular. You know what I mean? He's not going to endorse just any insurance company. It's going to be the General.
Right, but doesn't this make you think that, like, what is the General hiding? Like, what are these other companies that he endorsed hiding?
He's a Confederate general. I mean, he's hiding quite a bit. Gold Bond, medicated powder. They had their run-ins with slavery. Arm & Hammer was basically built. Gold Bond, I'm sorry, was basically built on slavery. That's what the bond in Gold Bond comes from. That
Icy Hot was just like used for torture back then.
Mm-hmm. If you see Amistad, you'll know what I'm talking about. But getting Shaq in there, I think, solves all their problems. And he's on the board. He's not just endorsing. He's not pulling a Peyton. He's not pulling a Peyton Manning. He is on the board making decisions about Papa John's Pizza. And you can bet they're non-racist decisions. Not like before. Now the most racist pizza chain is Domino's. And then Pizza Hut. But I think that, and Little Caesars, of course, is beyond the pale. Little Caesars does not believe the Holocaust happened, and that is
pizza.
Exactly. That's all he talks about. And like, if you look at their ovens, they're modeled after much of the Holocaust. But that's how we're going to keep you updated on the world of pizza.
Can you just imagine what those board of director meetings would be like? They're like, well, what do you think, Shaq? Is the expansion into the Southwest racist? Like, what's he doing at these meetings?
Oh, yes, that's very racist. That's my impression of Shaquille O'Neal.
That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it's very racist, Chuck.